Hello everybody and welcome to this video on gradients. So today we're going to look at what the gradient is and how we can actually calculate it as a number. Okay. So first of all, what is the gradient? The gradient, simply put, is the gradient is a numerical value, so a number, that we can use to describe the slope of a line. So instead of saying that line is steep, that line is not steep, that line slopes this way, it slopes that way, we have numbers now that we can actually put on the line to indicate its slope. Okay, and that's called the gradient. It's got a symbol. So the symbol for gradient is M. Alright, so we need to remember that as well. So just as a little refresh, if we can make sure that we've copied this in to our notes jotter, okay, and remember to copy down that the symbol for gradient is M. So how do we actually find the gradient of a line? Well, the gradient is equal to the vertical height divided by the horizontal distance. Now, what does that really mean? Well, if we look at an example, okay, so if we look at, let's say we're looking at a ramp, okay, so it might be like a ramp for disabled access or something like that, and we know that the ramp goes up 3 metres and goes along 6 metres. So it goes along 6 metres and goes up a height of 3 metres. So this is going to be our vertical height, and then this is going to be our horizontal distance. Okay, so remember, horizontal goes across the way, remember it like the horizon, and vertical is up and down. Alright, so if we wanted to write this down or calculate the gradient, we would write down M equals V over H. Now, what do we think V stands for? Vertical height. H stands for horizontal distance, and M, of course, is the symbol for the gradient. Alright, so that's us. We've cut this down from a lot of letters and a lot of writing into something very simple. So gradient is vertical height over horizontal distance. All we need to do now is we put our values into the formula. So if we look, we can see here the vertical height is 3, horizontal distance, well, that's 6. Now, 3 over 6 is fine, okay, it technically is the gradient, but what we really want to do here is we want to simplify what we have here. So 3 over 6 we can simplify to be 1/2. So the gradient of this ramp here is 1/2. Alright? Nice and simple. Okay? Next thing we're going to look at, we're going to look at one more example. Okay, so we'll call this example 1. We'll look at one more example over here. And this time, it's going to be a little bit steeper. So this ramp's steeper this time. Definitely wouldn't be for disabled access this time. So it goes along 1 metre and up 4 metres. Okay, so example 2, and again, copy this one into your notes. Also remember, you can pause me, go back, copy this one into your notes as well. Make sure everything I'm writing on the board here is copied down, right? Really, really important. Just a little refresh for you. So, M equals V over H, is how we start this off. Vertical height is 4. Horizontal distance is 1. Now 4 over 1, a lot of people get confused. It's not a quarter. Okay, remember it's not 1 over 4, that would be a quarter, it's 4 over 1. So 4 divided by 1 is just 4. And that's a gradient. Now we can see very simply from this this slope here is very much more steep, right? It has a higher gradient than this slope here, okay? And the gradient indicates, the number indicates how steep the slope actually is. So if we've got a line with a high number as a gradient, it's steep. If we've got a line with a low number as a gradient, a low positive number, then that would be not as steep as this one. Okay? So that's how we figure out gradient, and that's what gradient is. So it's very simply, it's a numerical value that we use to describe the slope of a line. You find it by vertical height divided by horizontal distance, and there's two examples here of how we actually do the working out of each one. It's very often with practical type examples like ramps and things like that. Okay, so remember, make sure that you do the quiz across here, make sure you've got everything copied into your notes. This is a nice kind of more simple video to kick off the year with, so I hope you've found that okay. Alright.